Coach Olesky from Garrettsville Garfield boys basketball. We let him join us. Coach, thank you so much for taking the time to join us today.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you for having me, too.
You got it. We're so excited for basketball season. I'm sure you are, too. Let's talk about kind of what you've seen so far from your team. I know football just got off, so you've probably been able to get some of those guys back. Here in the preseason, in the summer, and things like that. What are you seeing already from your team that you like so far?
I'm loving their energy and their enthusiasm and their effort right now. As you said, we kind of had to start the season kind of half team. Unfortunately, the football team lost last weekend, and we wanted to give those kids some time off in the process too, because they've been going hard since like June 1st. So the kids that we've had in the gym, the effort's been great, the energy's been great, the enthusiasm's been great. And then slowly this week, the rest of the kids are starting to trickle in, and they're hitting the ground running as they're coming in. So once we're finally full squad, which is going to be tomorrow, which is Friday, it's going to be really exciting. It's been exciting already, but to get everybody in the gym at once, it's going to be great. It's going to be exciting, and I'm looking forward to continue to build off what we've done the first 2 weeks of practice.
We have a lot of coaches that have football players, and obviously, you're no different. But one of the things we've never asked them, which I'm interested in, is what's it like to see them transition from one sport to the other, and how do you get them back in like basketball mode? Does it take a lot, or do they come right into the gym ready to switch that mindset into basketball?
For us, there's kind of many answers I can give that question. I love the fact I encourage multi-sport participation. They should be playing, as many sports as they can in high school, get those experiences. So first and foremost, I'm glad they're doing all those things, and I turn it into a positive because they're getting experiences that's going to last them the rest of their life. They're getting experience. Actually, in a weird way, it's going to help us in basketball. They're playing in high pressure situations with in front of big crowds. That experience helps. With that being said, they come in shape, but at the same time, it's a different kind of shape. And I played football. I love football. I'm a football guy, but basketball shape is different than football shape. And that's not an insult on either sport. And baseball shapes and track shapes, different shape than basketball shape. And it just is what it is. But our kids come in every year, no matter when they arrive, they work hard. And we're working hard as coaches to get them into that basketball shape. Some kids get there quicker than others. Some kids get there a little later, but they get there. But again, different muscles are being used. There's different actions required. And that's just part of the beast in high school sports. And it's a good thing to deal with because, again, I love the fact that they're participating in many sports. And like I said, they all need to do it because they're getting experiences that are going to last them and memories that are going to last them a lifetime. But again, there's some things that come down. Like there's different timings. There's different things that, just different sports entail. But it's all part of the process. And it's all a positive.
Coach, let's go over your roster, have kind of a meet the team segment through the players that are going to be, contributing to your squad this year.
We got a lot we're expecting on. We were young last year. We played a lot of sophomores and some seniors last year. So obviously our seniors we missed. There was 4 of them. They've moved on. They'll be missed greatly. They had some great impact on our team. And this year, right now, we have 2 seniors, which we're counting on. We have a forward, Eric Geddes, great defender, great team player. We got Vincent Jukic coming back. He's kind of a bull down low. I kind of describe him. He's got a low center of gravity who moves some bodies. And then we got our junior class who played heavy minutes as sophomores last year. Our leading scorer last year was Preston Gideons. He's going to be a junior this year. He's been dynamite to start the season. We have someone like Aiden Hill, who is returning for us. He started last year. He's just a tremendous all-around player who impacts the game in many ways, ball handling, passing, defending, rebounding, hitting shots. Same with Nick Edick. He's a guy whose value cannot be measured in the box score because of everything he does, the intangibles, and we're looking for him to score a little bit more. And then I'm a huge fan of Cade Rock. He's a big player down low, long, lanky. He alters shots defensively. He rebounds. He scores down low. He does the right things. He sets screens. We got guys like Tyler Lutz helping us out. Some newcomers too. We're looking at a lot of kids to help contribute to us this year, and that's the cool thing about it. We have some depth that we're hoping on. The guy I didn't mention either, Damian Torville, just an energetic, happy kid that loves to be there. He's going to help us out this year. But that's the cool thing. We got some depth. There's some names I didn't mention that we're still, we're trying to figure some things out as coaches, but we're hopeful that our depth allows us to, maybe do some different lineups from time to time, maybe dictate some matchups, maybe react to some matchups. But it's all exciting. It's all part of our process.
That depth is going to be really important because you have a tough schedule. And while
Yes.
we talk about it, we'll start with the conference, the MVAC. What do you expect out of the MVAC this year, and where do you kind of see yourselves shaking into it?
Well, I said it in a different interview. Our league is good, and all of these teams have multiple quality, talented players, and all of these teams they have great head coaches and they have great coaching staffs. And I could sit here and kind of brag and talk up every single team, and it's justified. It is a good league with great coaches, and there are no off nights in our league. And I think that makes it for an exciting season, because to sit here and say, oh, I think this team is going to be number one, I could say that for every team. And as us individually, I hope we're right there towards the end. With our kids' work ethic and our kids' enthusiasm and the way our kids are excited for the season, we're hopeful we are one of those teams at the end. But again, all of them, they are so quality and well coached with quality coaches and talented players. It's exciting. It is a good basketball league.
Yeah, I agree with you. Coaches galore in the MVAC. What's it like to be a part of a coach's room in the conference that you just look around and you see legend, great coach? I mean, what's that like for you?
It's cool. I'm in a weird part. This is my 13th year of coaching, and when I was younger, you see some coaches oh man, that's cool to see, and even still 13 years later, you're seeing some coaches in our league with just the resumes they have and all they've accomplished. And it is awesome. And there's some guys that speak up, and all of them do, to tell you the truth. When they speak up in our meetings, I'm listening, I'm still wanting to learn and, pick off of them. And, to hear them, the way they, make adjustments in games and the way, some of the things they shout out, I'm listening. I want to take some things off them and, make myself better. And I'd be dumb not to, because they're all so good. And like I said, every single one of them have a resume that is just amazing. And that's awesome. That's a part of our league, and that's what makes it so special.
If the league wasn't tough enough, you also test yourself outside of the conference. Who are some teams non-conference wise you're excited to go up against?
Oh, we got another MVAC member. Our second game of the season is against Waterloo, and they came on last year very strong. They could just play a tough, hard-nosed style. I'm close with those coaches down there. I respect them immensely. We play someone like Ravenna, who was just loaded and won their league last year. We open with a non-conference team in Rootstown. Those are hardworking, tough kids that play basketball the right way. It's exciting. And then later in the season, we play a team like Bristol, who I have immense respect for Coach Giese and what he does. Wyndham, both, they're always quality for the last 40 years. I mean, just there's no easy nights for us this year. And that's the way you want it to be. You want to challenge our kids. You want to, make us better in the process. Nothing should be easy, and ours is not going to be easy.
Hearing a lot of Portage County schools, so I'm wondering, I know you don't get anything for it. There's no county championship, but do you like, being able to run your county if you're lucky enough to do that and go and beat those teams in Portage County? Do you take some pride in being able to say hey, we played almost everybody in Portage County. We beat you guys.
I kind of take it game by game. I don't clump them together and say, oh, we handled Portage County in this way. And I don't think I ever would either. I kind of take game by game. If we win, great. If our kids get better and work better and we don't finish on top, it kind of is what it is. And I'm going to use that as a learning experience to make our team better. But I'm going to be honest, I don't clump the Portage County's teams together and say we have to get this group or we have to get this cluster just because it's Portage County. I want to perform well and win every game. I know it's not realistic. But, it is nice. There are some old school natural rivalries that we're going to play in the non-league, and that's exciting for the kids. That's exciting for the communities. And I know that's probably not the answer you want, but
no, it's all good, Coach. It's just it's fun because I think college is exclusive to this, where colleges get so amped up about anyone in their state, whether it's in their conference or not. It's we have to run this state. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, sure.
So it's fun. I wanted to see if that translated into high school at all. You don't have a Portage County league really, but is it nice to beat teams in your county? You never know.
Sure.
Coach, I want you to give the time for your staff too, because we know that your staff does a lot. You get the interviews, but the staff is behind you doing a lot of work. So I want you to take the time to highlight your staff and tell them what they bring to the program.
They bring a ton. I'm so incredibly lucky to have two assistants. As I'm answering this question, I'm like, man, who do I want to say first? Because I look at it like our staff, like I have the title head coach, but sometimes I feel like we are a three-headed coach because both of my assistants, Coach Bissler, Tommy Bissler, who played for me, he was a member of the 2017 district championship team, and Matt Hill, who comes from a tremendous basketball background. Like we work so well together. And like they're involved in every decision that I make. And, I know I'm the head coach and all the decisions go to me, but everything literally is a joint decision. And Matt Hill and Tommy Bissler are so instrumental to everything we do. I am so lucky to have them because they do so much work behind the scenes. I always tell, the public sees about 10 to 15% of what coaches really do. And those guys behind the scenes and on game days, on Tuesdays and Fridays, like they are just so involved in everything from, game planning, scouting reports, practice planning, getting our equipment ready, helping out set up, just literally everything we do as a team. Tommy and Matt have their fingerprints on along with mine. And I want to say it right now, our kids are lucky to have those two. I am very lucky to have those two. And I appreciate you asking me that question because they're tremendous to our program. And I want them to know that. I want our kids to know that.
I love seeing former players come back to the coaching staff. What's that mean for you that not only did you coach them, but then they admired you so much, or they admired the program so much, they want to come back and feed into it?
Well, it's kind of neat because, I know you're speaking specifically to Tommy right now. Like he knows our system. He knows what it was like to, play for me. So he can kind of relate to the kids in that regard. But again, he comes because a lot of stuff he learned, he is kind of got from me. So he knows what to expect from the practices. He knows what to expect from, my demeanor or my expectations. And I'd be lying if I said I have not learned from Tommy either. Tommy does a great job researching on his own. He has brought many things to the table, many things to this team that has helped us. And it's cool. We have another one down in the middle school program this year, Zach Smith. He graduated a year after Tommy. He was also a starter on that district championship team, and he's a part of the program. So it's kind of cool because they know our expectations. And then again, I'd be remiss again. I got to mention Matt too. He's just as important. Like he brings new things. He brings that pedigree. I'm learning from him too. So it is cool though, because that's what you want. Like that establishes the program, that establishes the unity you want. And it's cool. It is very, very cool.
Coach, our final question for you today. We've been asking every coach this. It's kind of our theme of these season previews. It goes back to the love of the game of basketball, right? We love it because we broadcast it. You love it because you coach it. Your players love it because they put the time into it to play it. When did the love of the sport come up to you? When were some of your memories where you found yourself falling in love with the game?
Oh, man, I don't know if I have enough time to answer that question because I fell in love with basketball. I think I was in 3rd or 4th grade, and my parents got me a video called The Pistol, The Birth of a Legend. And I think it was a straight-to-video kind of thing. And if you guys haven't seen it, please watch it. It was a kind of a fictionalized version of Pete Maravich growing up. And that was the video that caused me to fall in love with basketball. Like I would watch that video in the summer every morning 2 times. I would go out in my driveway and try to emulate the things he was doing in that video. And Pete Maravich to this day, along with Michael Jordan, are my favorite basketball players of all time. But that no doubt was it. Now I was lucky too. That also coincided with an era of where I went to school. The high school basketball was very, very good. And it still is there and all over. But like there were some big time players that ended up going to Akron from that team. So it was very cool to watch that video, fall in love with basketball, and then go watch these kids that you looked up to as, 4th, 5th, 6th graders. But I love that question because, again, I could talk about a few more things. And but I pinpointed to that movie, The Pistol, The Birth of a Legend. And if you're watching this and you haven't seen it, watch it. Like I bought it off Amazon for the DVD because I watched that VHS so much that the tape went bad. So I had to have that in my repertoire. But I would love to talk more about that movie and more about that player, but that is it. You can see me kind of getting excited and enthusiasm I bring about that. I think my dad bought that for me. So that's what it is. Cause my dad's more of a football guy. So I can honestly, my dad won't get offended if he hears this. Like, I think my dad's more of a football guy. His dad was more of a baseball guy. And it was that video.
Some of your players are going to not even know what a VHS is. So we love watching the fact that you wore it out so much that it actually ruined the tape because that was the real struggle. for our
Yeah, it
VHS
was.
generation.
Yeah.
Coach, we want to thank you so much for taking the time to join us today. We appreciate it. We wish you the best of luck. We'll be out there covering you guys, and we can't wait to talk to you again real soon.
Well, I appreciate this, and thank you very much for having me on. I appreciate it, and good luck to you.